Awesome. Okay, continue. All right, Ashley, are you ready to show us how to make children's paint? Hang on. You're on mute. I'm unmuting you.
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we can hear you now.
So it's really easy. It's literally 4 ingredients and it's only about 3 minutes of cook time. So we're starting with 50 grams of salt. Uh, 30 grams of sugar. I'm just using raw sugar because that's what I've got. And 50 grams of corn flour. And then it's the first lot of water, which is 200 ml. It says to use the measuring cup, so 2 measuring cups. And then we're cooking it for 3 minutes. We're cooking it for 3 minutes at 80 degrees on speed 3. That's that simple. When it's finished, we add another 200 mils of water and then we add our food colouring.
I was on mute. All right, well, awesome. Well, whilst that's happening, we're going to pop over to Val, and Val is going to start with the Play-Doh.
Awesome.
Hey, Sandra. Okay, so we're going to start with the Play-Doh. I'm just going to grab these ingredients just quickly because I was having issues logging in. Okay, so what we're going to do, so we're making the Play-Doh. That's very quick and easy to do. To start off, we're going to need 110 grams of salt. So I've used, I don't know if you guys can see me, I've used rock salt. So I'm just going to pop that in there. Just a bit over 100. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to mill this on for 10 seconds on, or for 5 seconds, at 5 to 10 seconds on speed 10. So I'm going to do it for 10 seconds and on speed 10. So that's just going to mill. So I'll just show you what it looks like. So that's your milled salt there. So what we need to do, we just need to scrape down the sides to get all the salt going in there. Now, what we're going to do as well, you can do this if you like. Normally the recipes do say to add just cold water, and we're going to the recipe does say to heat it for about 5 minutes on 60 degrees. But what I'm going to use is I'm going to use boiling water and reduce that time to make it a lot more quicker. So we're going to need to add about 250 grams of water. So I'll just put the scales back on. Okay, that's 250 there. And then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar. Just grab a tablespoon.
All right, Rose. Let's go watch a toy man.
Yeah.
Just 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar.
Yep.
And then this is the part where you've got to cook it for 5 minutes on 60 degrees. But because I'm using boiling water, I'm just going to make it for about 3 minutes. So that way it all mixes up and it all blends nicely in there. So Sandra, while that's doing that, did you want to go to the next person?
Yeah, so that'll be me. So whilst Ashley's is whilst that's boiling away, Val's is boiling away, I'm going to show you how to make a eucalyptus multi-purpose spray. And this is something that I love making, and I usually have it in my bathroom because eucalyptus is a disinfectant, and it removes bacteria and odors. And I just love it for a quick clean in the bathroom and just have it sitting on my vanity, and it's great, and it's so simple to make. So all it is, we're going to add 250 grams of water. So I've already boiled the water as well because the Thermomix is going to heat up this water. So I've already boiled it just to make it quick. So 250 grams. And then we're going to add, let me just get the recipe because I don't know it off by heart. 140 grams of vinegar. So just your plain white vinegar, 140 grams. And then we're going to add 5 grams of just your normal dishwashing detergent. So I think this is the concentrated one too. So 5 grams, a little bit more. Yeah. And then 5 grams of your normal eucalyptus oil. Okay. So that's going to go in there. Oh, let me tear it. I don't want to go overboard with this because it can be quite overpowering because it's really strong. And then we cook this and we give it like it stirs and it cooks for 1 minute on 80 degrees. So let me just go here. 1 minute, 80 degrees on speed 1. So just to mix everything together. And then once that's done, I've got these glass spray bottles. Now I found these at Target in the home section, and they're really good because they're I like them because they're made out of glass. You just got to be careful not to let it fall on the floor in the bathroom. But I've got a couple of those ready to go with this eucalyptus spray. So multi-purpose spray, and you can also use it in your kitchen, on your bench tops, anywhere really. In the toilet seat as well, just leaves a nice smell and removes those odors. So so once that's done, I just pour it into that jar and that's done. So remember, it was only 4 ingredients. So water, vinegar, dishwashing liquid, and eucalyptus oil, and that's done. And then obviously just, pour it carefully into your bottle. Now it makes a lot. It makes around half a litre. So you'll need a few more bottles. But there you go. There is your eucalyptus spray. All right. So we'll probably go back to Ashley. Ashley will be ready by now, wouldn't you?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. So the next step was to add another 200 grams of water and just blend it on speed 4 for another minute. And we've got white paint. Now at this point, you could add one coloring, mix it up, and you've got about 500 grams of paint. But I've got these little jars I got from Kmart. I think they come in a set of 8. And I've been splitting it into 4 and adding color separately.
Could you double the recipe, Ashley? I'm sure there's plenty of room in the bowl if you want to double. Yeah.
Quite easily, yeah. It only comes probably just to the top of the blades. It's only about 500 ml, just under. So at this point, I'm just adding some food dye, a couple of drops. And I'm just using a paddle pop stick and coloring it. So there is some green paint. I'm a baker, so I've got heaps and heaps of colors, but you can pretty much whatever color you've got in the cupboard. And I made some on Monday and it's been sitting on the bench in the cool, and it's perfectly fine still today. The kids used it yesterday. But if you want to prolong the life, it would last a week to 10 days in the fridge. No worries.
I don't think it would last a week with the kids though.
No,
I saw your photos,
not.
Ashley.
No, This is probably my third or fourth batch now in a matter of days because they're making wonderful pieces of art. But yeah, if you needed it to last a week, it definitely would in the fridge.
And keeping mum busy with the cleanup too, I bet.
Yes, definitely. But it does come out very, very easily. My daughter got it all over a brand new t-shirt yesterday. A couple of sprays of Sard through the wash. It's perfect today. So it is definitely kid safe in that respect.
That's really good to know because some paints that we buy, kids get it on their clothes and we can't get it out. So that's really good to know, actually. All right, thanks for that. Actually, don't forget to take photos.
Yeah.
All right, so we're moving on to Val with the Play-Doh.
Yeah. So just to show you, this is what it looks like after it's all been mixed. So it's just got that, I don't know if you guys can see the liquidy consistency. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the flour. So we need to add 250 grams of plain flour. So I'll just pop that in there. And we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil, and you can use any type of oil. You can use coconut, you can use olive, you can use vegetable, whatever oil you've got in your cupboard, you can use in there. So I'll just add about 10 grams. Okay. So what we're going to do now is just quickly, we're just going to mix it up so it mixes up nicely, and then we're going to knead it for about a minute. So I'll just quickly mix this up. And you need to mix it on speed 4. Wait for that to mix. That should be fine. So what we can do now is we can go to the kneading part. So I'll just go to the knead. Sorry. So now we're going to do it for 1 minute. And this is what's going to achieve the Play-Doh consistency. So that's going to knead for about a minute. Sandra, if there's anyone that you want to go to.
Val, do you want to talk about the different essential oils that you're going to use for the Play-Doh?
Yep, I don't know if you guys can hear me through the machine kneading in the background.
We can.
Yep. So it's up to you if you wanted to make it just a colourful dough, like a Play-Doh, or you can make it an aromatherapy Play-Doh. So I did one earlier where I made a purple Play-Doh, and in it I've actually put lavender through it. So if you've got essential oils, you can actually put like about 4 or 5 drops of the oil after you've actually, I want to show you how to do it when I put the colour through it. You just put a bit of oils in there, and you mix it through to get that that smell. And so what these oils do, it actually promotes like calming properties. So for example, you can color code it. So purple, I've put in lavender. If you've got like a yellow, you can put like a lemon, or like a citrus oil that'll be a bit more uplifting to give them like an uplifting mood. Same as orange. If you've got orange, you can use wild orange.
I really like the idea of the lavender because it puts them to sleep.
It does, yes. Choose like a lavender or lavender, please. If you want another calming, like another calming oil, and again, you can, depending on the color, if you want to color coordinate it. If you make a green Play-Doh, you can probably go for a balance, which is another grounding oil. Or if you go blue, you can use adaptive, which is, a good, calming oil as well. Or if they've got a stuffy nose, you can go for the Easy Air or the peppermint. So if you want to color code it, you can color code it with the essential oils, or, if you want to stick with lavender across the whole board, you can go with lavender across the whole board if you want to calm the kids down if they're driving you crazy during homeschooling or during lockdown.
So do you put the color in afterwards?
Yeah, so what's happened, so this is just finished kneading, so I'll just show you what it looks like. So that's the dough there. So that's just finished kneading. So we're going to transfer that, and what I do suggest is transfer it on somewhere where the actual food colouring is not going to die. I personally wouldn't suggest putting it on one of those silicone mats because you don't want to, just in case the colour goes through. So I'll just use plain old baking paper, just pop it there, and then you just transfer the dough in, and then just transfer a few, put a few dots of drops of the food coloring to get the color consistency that you're after. So I'll just show you guys quickly what we need to do, and make sure you guys wear gloves because the color does, you know, stain your hands. I'll just get a little bit out just to show you. So that's the, I don't know if you guys can see, that's the consistency of the Play-Doh. So, you know, you can, the kids can obviously play around with it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quick pop on some gloves, and I'll just tilt my screen down just to show you how I'm going to incorporate the color through it. There we go. Just quickly put my gloves on. I forgot to, my red was, I don't know, it must have, the lid's probably not on properly, and I've taken it out. My hand's all red from the red. So what I'll do, I'm going to make a blue. So what you do, can you guys see what I'm doing there? So what you do is just make it into a ball, but then just put a few holes with your finger in there, and then just add a few drops of the colour. Just like that, should be enough. And then what you do is just knead it through. Just knead it through like that. So it can get a bit messy. Now you can use natural food colouring if you wanted to be all natural. I've just got the blue Queen's one. So you just knead it through like that until you achieve the consistency.
Belle, have you thought about putting the food colouring in whilst it's kneading?
I have done it, but it doesn't work out.
Okay, yeah, it still needs a bit of kneading by hand afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do it all the time. I never do it by hand, and it works all the time.
I find the consistency, the colour comes out better by hand than it does in the machine.
Really? I've never thought that. Look, I've actually got some that I made the first week of lockdown 4 or 5 weeks ago, and it's still good. I mean, obviously the colours are all mixed now because I made blue and then I made a batch of red and whatever, but it's still so soft even weeks later. It's so good. If you keep it in a Tupperware container, the kids love it.
The last holidays I made some, and I've still got them in bags, and they're just like this, like it hasn't gone. Like you would have thought, you know, being all like food stuff, it would have, but no, it's still good as long as you keep it in a Ziploc bag or wrap up in a Glad bag, Glad or sealable container. Then that's fine. Yeah. So that's.
You know what else you can do? You can put glitter through it.
Yes.
So if it's for a little girl, they'll love some glitter.
So that's the.
Or a boy.
So that's the blue there. So now what we're going to do to incorporate the essential oils, we're just going to wrap it up into a ball again. And then again, we're just going to put a couple of dots in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the adaptive to go with the calming. So you just have to just drop a drop of oil.
Hey, Ashley was just sharing that she adds the food colouring in the water. I had never, ever thought of doing that. Ever. What a great tip. Directly in the water before you add the flour. So then you get that good consistency. And that's what then Elliot said, yeah, that's what I do. It's in the water, not in the flour.
Yeah. So then they just.
Wow.
Yeah, the Louise Keats baby book does that. That's the recipe I used when she got out the TM31 book.
So then you just, it's all done. And obviously, you know, you can smell the essential oils through it. But yeah, if it's not in use, just wrap it up in Glad wrap or put in a Ziploc bag or, you know, a sealable container. And yeah, kids can use it whenever they're bored, or even we can use it too. But that's it.
I find it really soothing just sitting there and playing with Play-Doh. And what I love about being able to make your own Play-Doh this easily is that it's cheap, and Play-Doh can be so expensive, and they mix all the colors within 5 minutes of opening up all those little tubs.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, don't mix the colors, don't mix them. But now it's like, yeah, go ahead, turn it brown, I don't care.
I don't mind Play-Doh in the house, but slime is a no-go.
Oh, we could have thought of making slime tonight.
Oh, I've made slime before in the Thermomix, but never again. I hate slime too.
All right, thanks, Val. That looks amazing. I have to make some Play-Doh for the kids as well, but I'll definitely be adding some lavender to mine. So they'll be getting purple Play-Doh. All right, we're moving over to Carolyn, who's going to show us dog biscuits. I'm really excited to see this one.
Hi everyone. So firstly, this is a really super easy recipe, and it's a sweet dog biscuit. You can also do savoury ones where you can either add bacon bits or liver, and you can mill that also, like make it smaller in your Thermomix. So today, as I said, I'm just going to do a sweet one, which just has oats, flour, peanut butter, banana and an egg. So it's 50 grams of oats, just throw that in. Then 140 grams of flour, which I've pre-measured this beforehand, and 140 grams of peanut butter. And then you can get the unsalted to natural peanut butter. A banana, a ripe banana, so a medium-sized banana, and then 1 egg. And that's it, so simple. Pop the lid on, 20 seconds, speed 3. And then if you find that it's still a little bit sticky, the mixture, then you can just add a bit more flour and remix it again. It's nearly finished. Just check it. Mix it again. Remix it. So and then if you find it, as I said, yeah, if it's still too sticky or if you find it a little bit dry, add a little bit of water in it, get that dough consistency. Then we'll roll it out as you would say ordinary pastry. We'll use the cookie cutter. Yeah, that's better. So you can just see it's sort of in a dough consistency. I'll take that out, put that on the bench, I'll roll that out, and then if you come back to me, I'll show you how I just put it out on a tray and then bake it for 20 minutes and then turn the oven off, take them out, turn the cookies over or biscuits over, put them back in the oven while the oven's cooling down, and then when it's cool, that's it, they're all done. Pop them in an airtight container in the fridge. Will last probably about a week, but I reckon your fur babies will eat them up before then. That's it.
I think even I could eat them.
Yeah, I know. They're not bad.
They sound really yummy. All right, we'll come back to you, Carolyn. That's awesome. All right, so we're over to Elia.
Hi guys. So I'm making a vanilla almond body scrub. Now I'm not sure if you guys know, I've got like keratosis pilaris. It's, probably can't really see, but you know the tiny red bumps on your skin that. Anyway, I've got it all up here, and in winter, it's awful that it even comes down to here. I don't know if you can see little bumps, but anyway, so this is a great exfoliator that you can use in the shower. I'll turn on my Thermomix. So it actually says to use a vanilla bean. Now I last year just blitzed a whole heap of vanilla bean. So I'm just going to use a tablespoon of this, but even if you don't have vanilla bean, you could just use like vanilla essence as well. And like we were talking about the doTERRA oils, there are heaps of doTERRA oils that are great for skin. So you could add, you know, a couple of drops of those as well in there. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of my vanilla bean that's already been blitzed and 30 grams of almonds. And we're going to mix that just for 20 seconds, speed 7. It's going to be loud. Then I've got sugar. And coconut oil. So chop that. So I've got 50 grams of sugar. Now I'm just using raw sugar, but you could use brown sugar. You know, really. So we've got the sugar and we've got coconut oil, 45 grams of coconut oil. Now, while that's mixing on speed 2, I'm going to drizzle olive oil, 20 grams of olive oil on the lid, and it's going to slowly go down, just like when you make mayonnaise and stuff. So I'll put speed 2 on there, and I'll just drizzle it on the lid. Now, remember, it goes through the measuring cup because there's like a gap. So just pour it on top of the lid, and it slowly will go in. And then that's it. How easy is that? Now, obviously, because I'm using this just for myself at home, I've just got glass jar, like a Pyrex one. But if you were gifting it to someone, you know, you could use some really cute little jars or plastic ones, you know, that sort of stuff to give as gifts. Yeah, and look, because it's almonds and stuff, I only use it, you know, after a few weeks. Like, you wouldn't keep it for months. So yeah, so just keep that in mind, especially if you're gifting it. So I'll show you what it looks like. All that stayed on top, and that's it. So it's a great exfoliator. And it definitely doesn't dry your skin, as you can see, because it's got the coconut oil and the olive oil. Yeah, it's going to be great. So I'll have a shower tonight. I wish I could do it before and after. I'm joking. But yeah, I'll take a photo of it. I'll put it in my little jar, and I'll take a photo. I'll take a photo of the jar, not my arm.
You're so funny. You're before and after. You're hilarious. Whilst I was looking up scrubs for this class, I also found like Thermomix recipes, coffee scrubs, chocolate scrubs. So coffee and chocolate, they're great antioxidants. So great for the skin as well. So have a look, because there's quite a few really good recipes out there. I always have a look at the reviews and the comments, because you have to be a little bit careful with scrubs, so they don't, you know, dry out your skin, and they have and they're well put together, so you don't damage your skin. Okay, so we're going over to Ilham for your blank canvas fizzies.
Yep, that's me. Hi, everybody. Last but not least, okay, so I'm making blank canvas fizzies, and what they are is you can actually use them in as bath bombs, or you know, the toilet drops. You can actually make them into little you know, when you I know with congestion, when you got a cold or flu, you're congested, so you can actually use them in like a steam bath or steam like hot showers. So yeah, that's what I'm making. So we need 300 grams of sodium bicarbonate. Oops. Okay. Perfect. Okay. And then 130 grams of citric acid. A little bit more. And we're going to mix that up for 5 to 10 seconds on speed 5. Okay. We go up, speed 5. So that was about 10 seconds, and then we'll just wait for the lid to open. I'll just show you. It's not nice. It doesn't look anything different, because all it did was mix it up. And then we're going to add about 30 grams of, I'm adding fractionated coconut oil. Can you guys see the mist? So I'm adding fractionated coconut oil. But you can add any carrier oil that you have, sweet almond oil, any of those will work. So that's 30 grams. And that you'll mix up for another, on speed 5 again, for another 5 to 10 seconds. So when you what you do is actually test what it, the consistency. So if you actually mix it up, if you pick it up and you squeeze it in your hand, if it holds, if it's firm enough, if it holds, then you can actually use it and just stick it in your mold. But if it doesn't, if it breaks apart, I think that's firm enough for me. If it breaks apart, then you can actually add about another teaspoon to a tablespoon of your oil again. But yeah, that's holding. That's perfect consistency. So what I do is I put it in an ice cube tray or any silicone mold that you have. These might be a bit too big, but yeah, and that's perfect size for toilet fizzy drops. Or just the normal size ice cube trays, or even this mini cupcake baking tray. But yeah, once you put it in, you actually squish it down, and then you leave it for 12 to 24 hours. And then after the 24 hours, you obviously flip over the molds, you take them out of the molds, and then have it dry for a further 24 hours. And then you have your amazing like bath bombs, toilet fizzies. But you've got to add, obviously, to this 2 to 3 drops of essential oil. So if you're going to use it in the bath, you can use lavender oil, or if you're going to use it as toilet fizzy, you can use clove oil, or I don't know, eucalyptus, like Sandra was mentioning earlier. And then if it's for kids, you can actually dye this too with obviously natural food colors, and you can use it in the kids' bath for like bath time fun, or even for relaxation for yourself or the kids. You can put adaptive in there. You can put in lavender again, whatever essential oils you want. So yeah.
Have you tried petals?
You can put
little petals.
Yeah, because I actually do the bath salts too, and I put the bath salts in the petals in the flowers in the bath salts. But it can be added at the same time as you add the citric acid and the bicarb sodas. But that's what they look like. And this has been, I made these in May, and it's still.
Oh, so awesome.
Yeah. Yes, Susan, you do add the oils later. So not during the mixing, you add it so that you can actually add whatever oil you want, or whatever you're in the mood for, or whatever you're going to use it for, whether it's for toilet cleaning or for steaming, decongesting, or whatever else you want to use it for. Yep.
Awesome. I love that, Ilham.
You're welcome.
That is such a great little gift to put together as well, isn't it? Even for us, you can have like, a little bowl in the bathroom, and you just chuck it in the toilet bowl. I love it. What great ideas. Awesome. All right, so we're going to go back to Carolyn now. She's going to show us the dog biscuits again.
So very simple. I've made roughly about 30. So I'm just going to pop them in the oven, as I said, for 20 minutes on 180. And then after that, turn the oven off, quickly flip them over. And then as the oven's cooling down, then we'll cook the other side, and that's it. Put them in a airtight container in the fridge. Delight.
And happy dogs.
Too easy.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your recipe with us. So keep a lookout for an email, because we'll be sending Carolyn's dog biscuit recipe along with all the other recipes that we showcased tonight. So if you're a little late joining us today, we did make children's paint. We made some Play-Doh. I made the eucalyptus multi-purpose spray. We did the dog biscuits that you just saw, the vanilla almond body scrub, and also the blank canvas fizzies. Now, when you have a look at this, there's something for the kids, something for the mum, to relax, to pamper herself. There's also something for the fur baby. So when I had a look at this list, I go, oh, what a cute little gift pack that you can put together with all homemade stuff in your Thermomix. And I think people really need that love and attention right now with lockdown. A lot of people are finding it hard, including myself. It's not easy with what we're going through at the moment. So that's something special that you can provide and give to your friends. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tonight. We are finished. So we have another class on Sunday at 3 p.m. So keep a lookout for that one. That class is easy homeschool lunches. That again, because we're home with the kids, we need to feed them. They're constantly asking for food. So we want to give you some ideas on some really easy lunches. So join us then. And I will send you the link to that class on the email that I'll send you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming. It was nice spending this hour with you. And thanks to Team Blade Runners for putting on an awesome presentation again. You guys are just fabulous. Okay. All right. Oh, hey, Paula. Didn't see you there. How are you?
I'm good. Still here.
I love that photo with your fur baby. You're going to make the dog biscuits?
I am actually. But that's not my dog. That's my friend's dog. Her dog is a lot more calmer than mine. My dog's crazy. Yeah, my dog's crazy.
Funny. Oh, my goodness. All right. We'll just wait a bit. Oh, I'll stop recording before I forget.
How many people